Hello there, my name is Chris. Yes, I'm doing a daily vlog of 1,000 vlogs over 1,000 days. So if you're not subscribed, a subscribe would be awesome. This is something different today, guys. This is me on a journey up to Plymouth Hoe. That's H-O-E. It means high vantage point, and I'm not saying a horrible word, I absolutely promise you. And it's such a glorious place. Now, a little story about Plymouth Hoe. I first came here when I was a little boy with my grandfather. We walked up this very pathway. I think I was only about 3 years old, of my earliest recollection. And we walked up towards the main promenade. Now, that building that you see in front of you there is Smeaton's Tower. It's a lighthouse. And many years ago, it was erected out to sea, just to my left there. That chap with me is my friend Russ. Yep, he's one of my closest friends. And when he's got a day off, we like to shoot the breeze and go for a coffee. So this is us walking up towards what is the main promenade. Just to my left, though, is a beautiful, beautiful view. And it looks out to what's called Plymouth Sound. It's an expanse of water. It's a natural harbour with lots of boats and ships coming in and out of, and it's glorious. That is the closest view so far of Smeaton's Tower. It's right there on the seafront, and it's gorgeous. Now, I also used to take trips to this lighthouse from my school when I was very young, and climb to the top, and you can look right out to sea and right over this area. Of course, I flew my drone today. I had to sort of get it up because it was a beautiful, beautiful day. Blue skies you could see. There was no wind around. It was just a stunning January day, and it was well worth, obviously, flying around. And one of the good things about this drone is that it can follow you. So it's like having an extra cameraman around. And this is the promenade now on Plymouth Hoe. It's lovely. It's a big expanse. People tend to use it for recreational purposes, walking around, taking their dog for a walk, cycling, roller skating, you name it. It's been used for everything. Even the Plymouth Half Marathon sets off from here and finishes from here. Look at that dog. It's amazing, isn't it? I love dogs. I'll just show you here just to my left that this is the lighthouse. And as I was walking towards it, I just remember feeling, wow, this could be a spring day, but it's still the middle of January. But how lucky are we to experience all this? It is lovely. This is just on my doorstep. The new house that I'm buying, or flat, should we say, or apartment, it's not far away from here. So I could come up here almost daily and look at this view. It is amazing. I always look out to sea and just really marvel at this amazing view. I remember when I walked along here with my grandfather holding his very large hand, and I was very tiny. I looked up in awe of him, and we would walk along here as a child. I remember thinking, this is so special, and spending time with somebody I love as well. So I did love my grandfather, and he really did sort of expose me to books and reading and poetry. Such an amazing man. And he had a fondness for Plymouth Hoe. He had a fondness for coming up here and doing just what I'm doing. As I turn to my right, though, you'll see a statue just here. This is a statue in memoriam to Sir Francis Drake. Yep, Sir Francis Drake. So Sir Francis Drake sailed all over the world. He is probably known for fighting off the Spanish who tried to invade here. Whilst they were trying to invade, just in front of this statue, there's a bowling green, and he was playing bowls, and apparently somebody came up to him and said, the Spanish are coming. But he didn't rush. He had to finish his game, and then he set about defeating the Spanish and stopping them invading. What an incredible story, though. I don't know if I'd be that cavalier in wanting to finish a game of bowls, but yeah, it's a unique story nonetheless. There is a picture that I've seen recently of the Beatles. Yep, the Fab Four came up here and sat just to my left on the grass verge there, looking out to sea. It was part of their, I think, 60s or 70s tour across the UK. And obviously they came up here. This place, though, Plymouth, it's my home. It's been home all my life. I have travelled around the world, though. I've been to some wonderful places. Believe it or not, I've even been to Plymouth in New England, in Massachusetts. And that was an experience. I went to a place called Plymouth Plantation, and I really enjoyed my time there. And it's something I think that if you're from this city, it's nice to go there and experience that experience. It's lovely. So this place I'm walking to, which is just in front, is known as the Wedding Cake. I think it was modelled on, I think it was Queen Victoria's wedding. You'll see in a minute the front part of this structure, and it does look like a wedding cake. It really does. Moreover, like an old-fashioned one, but a wedding cake nonetheless. And there's that spectacular view right out across Plymouth Sound. It is stunning. So during this short visit, my friend and I were just talking about the good old days. We've known each other for many, many years. And of course, we decided to walk back towards the lighthouse. You can see that there's a ton of people up here. They're just enjoying basically the view and the weather. We don't always see an awful lot of good weather here. I think it's predominantly the better weather comes in around about the end of May and can last sometimes until the end of September. And as I've alluded to earlier, the Plymouth Half Marathon sets off from here, usually I think in May. And this place can get very, very busy. I mean, there are thousands and thousands of people putting on their running shoes and going off to run around the city. It's a spectacular feeling. So I would recommend, if you're into your running, giving this marathon or half marathon a go. As I walk along the promenade, though, I actually enjoyed having a chat with my friend and try to convince him to go over towards the seafront there and have a cup of coffee, which we later did, by the way. And as we walked over towards the sun, there's something about the low winter sun. It just seems to have its own light. And this place really does give out the best sort of sunsets. I've been up here and recorded a time lapse of a sunset. That was absolutely stunning last year. I caught some amazing sunsets. And if you, like I say, go onto my Instagram account of Snapper Urban, you'll be able to see that I have recorded some amazing sunrises and sunsets. I was up here probably around about 3:30 in the middle of summer last year, and I caught a sunrise just in front of that lighthouse. It was so amazing. It was freezing cold, but oh my goodness, it was well worth it. So I posted that on my Instagram account, and people seemed to like it. And that basically, we're walking towards the seafront there, because in front of this area is a very large sea pool called Tinside, or it's a Lido, Tinside Lido pool. So we're walking towards that. Now, Plymouth used to have a pier, but it was bombed during the Second World War by the Germans. They flew over, and Plymouth was badly hit during the Second World War. My mum told me a story where the German fighter planes would fly over, and on one occasion my grandfather dived on top of her to save her when bullets were raining down, and she never forgot that. I think this is an epic view. I don't know what you think, but that's Drake's Island right in front of me. It's an island that my friend who's with me there, Russ, he's got a boat, and we've gone on there many times. But this view is absolutely astounding. I've been all over the world and I've seen some amazing sights, but this sight for me, it still blows me away. And I've seen it hundreds of times. I mean, it's an incredible sight to behold. And there's something about having the lighthouse there. It just all works so well. It just makes me feel that this place is an incredible place. So if you're thinking about traveling this year, it might be worth you coming here and having a look and seeing it for yourself. Now, there's quite a few places along the waterfront there where you can stop and have a meal, a snack, a coffee, a hot beverage, even even some beers. So if you fancy that, if that's your thing, then give it a go. Why not? And this view is really incredible. I think we are very lucky to be living in this city. It's historically got an awful lot of value. Napoleon Bonaparte was stopped on a boat just out there, and the locals got on their boats to row out to see him. I gather Darwin left from here to go off to the Galapagos Islands. Just very quickly, we went down to the seafront. I had to have a look at this car. It's a vintage car, but it looked so amazing. And you notice the wedding cake right in front of you there. It's modelled on Queen Victoria's wedding cake. This is a popular coffee stop off, and it's lovely. It's the Coffee Shack. People come up here all the time to grab a coffee and a bite to eat. And of course, there's the obligatory chairs where you can sit down and look out to sea. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this short visit, and it is Plymouth. And if you're not subscribed, give me a subscribe, and I'll be back tomorrow with another vlog. Thank you so much. See you then.